Hello and welcome to another session of Star Trek Adventure Second Edition, Eschaton Station. This session is part of Open Hearth Gaming, which is an online gaming club slash community that you can find out about if you go to check us out at openhearthgaming.com. This, if you're watching this, know that I have hundreds and hundreds of actual play videos available on my YouTube channel, besides this one, as well a number of different GMs in our community put these APs together, and then we have a feed of those that gets translated into a podcast format. You can find out about that. We have that, and then we also have a number of different podcasts that we do through our community through another feed. All that is available on our website. Last thing I'm going to say, if you're interested in this, we have a free online gaming convention that is coming up that first weekend in October. Signups for that will be opening in mid-September. So just wanted to give a shout out about that. So we are taking up, we hit the commercial break at the end of last session, and we're going to we've kind of time lapsed forward. So if we do need to flash back or you need to ask, okay, what did we find out about X or Y? We can do those rolls and so on, but we're kind of moving a little bit forward. And we're going to have the we will see the station. We last time we saw various shuttlecraft and things going back and forth between the station and the megastructure. We get almost that same glamour shot of the two, but we don't see any shuttles. And we do see that all of what passes for docking rings and things on the station are filled up at this point. And then I think we cut to Lieutenant Keel walking through the halls, and there are clearly some security people that are patting folks down, and there's a weird tension in the air. So, Keel, what's your attitude, and then tell us your voiceover.
Yeah, I think Keel is looking more worried than his usual kind of slightly lackadaisical approach to things. And where previously we've seen him, wander the promenade and window shop or actual shop, there's no time for that right now.
And we will see you arrive at one of the upper berths, of one that's mostly used for, Federation business and Starfleet business. And we'll hear your voiceover.
Stardate 2374 Science Officer's Log. Administrator Morale has agreed to a limited 24-hour ban on departures while security does a sweep and ident of all persons aboard the station. Unfortunately, this has temporarily stopped research travel to the megastructure. I have Dr. Sulu, not to mention every logged science officer aboard the station, constantly sending me signals. Not to mention a new message from the Lyran ambassador wondering if this will delay their inevitable access to the object. Arrivals are still allowed, and following the opening of the Tantalus object, Starfleet has been willing to transfer in a handful of personnel, more than the two they sent us last time. A science sensors specialist, two provisional ensigns, and one person for our medical team, though her specialty may not be what Bontali requested.
And I think that that comes to the cut where we see uh, Ensign Asha for the first time in this series coming off. This is one of those people that gets the guest starring kind of thing at the bottom, our ensign row for the episode, and a couple of gangly ensigns with like the no pips that get grabbed up by one of the security people and kind of taken off. And Asha, you were told that the senior science officer would be meeting you. Uh, what's our first impression of Asha?
So she's coming off and she's probably got like one of those shoulder carrying cases for the clothes because she's not really sure how long she's going to be here. She just knows that she was assigned to this thing. It's like I thought I was due shore leave, but okay, all right. you know? It's for the great.
And
So she's just like
yeah,
very like looking around at the station. I was like, this is a lot different than what I'm used to.
it is
It's all one
dingier.
piece.
Yeah, it is a little dingier than you would have expected. There's an odd smell in the air. You're used to recycled ship air, and there's a definite pong, let us say, wafting about. Uh, Keel, um, you're a trill. Do you have any of your symbiote lives, your host lives that interacted with Bejor? You're muted.
You're muted.
I think perhaps we had I'll say a run-in with Bajor way back before the Cardassians were on the scene. I think perhaps this Arjun, who was this warrior priest who had a lot of experience with the Klingons, had a run-in, let's say, with the Bajorans way back when.
And I think that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, Asha. Uh, this is one of the first Bajorans that you've seen, like especially traveling to a new location. You would expect them to have their ritual jewelry and symbols of the prophets. Uh, and Asha, do you not have any, or is it super minimal?
Well, like one ear's covered, but no, she doesn't have any recognizable prophet worshiping designation stuff.
Okay, I'll pass the scene to you two then.
Ensign, and I think, I'm looking at my pad, Ensign Asa, or do you prefer your be referred to as Asha?
Asha, please. Give a name.
Okay, excellent. Well, we'll be glad to have you aboard. We've lost our chief medical officer. I say lost. Um,
As in,
we know where he is, and he's not
oh,
dead.
okay.
Um, but I think we need all the help we can get.
So wait, then who's the chief medical officer?
Um, I think that'll be you. I'll say two things. I'll ask one thing. Let's say, have you any experience with emergency medical holograms?
Um, I mean, we haven't had need of them on the Kintsugi, but we're familiar with the subroutine.
Well, you're about to have an
Usually they're,
experience.
uh, excuse me, Lieutenant?
We have one.
Okay.
It's an acquired taste, I think. Uh, but the chief nurse, Meriwether, will set you up.
All right.
Um, if you have any doubts or questions, the chief nurse is really runs the show, I guess.
Okay.
And I think we
Wait,
will. Yes.
but I'm in charge? What?
I think we'll cut to the med bay that we saw from last time. Again, more crowded than what you'd expected. It's also large, because it's station sized, and there seems to be some discussion going around. There's a little bit of argument with a Victorian gentleman there who you will immediately, I think, spot as the EMH who is trying to get one of the people who like apparently has recovered but has not yet left. And the EMH is you don't understand. We do not have room for you, and I will not have you gallivanting about in here. You need to leave forthwith. And there's an argument going on there. And you will see Chief Nurse Merriweather there, in standard, nurses classic uniform. She's equivalent to Nurse Chapel, so she is actually the ranking medical person here, but she's not a full like medical officer, as it were. But I think she will turn and she will say, Keel, how many did they send?
For you
Uh,
and Sanasha, 1/4 of the compliment.
Oh, good, good. Uh,
is, is that is that that's that's the doctor?
that is, that is our EMH, yes.
I have a lot of questions.
He prefers to be referred to as Professor.
Professor, okay. Yeah, like, from Starfleet Academy classes?
So anyway, let's move
Okay.
on to that. And I think we'll come back to we'll get you a scene on that again after a bit. Uh, Commander Bontali. Uh, we'll kind of cut to you, and the the shutting down of departures has, of course, immediately. This is this is, as you will know, Administrative Morale doing the absolute minimum to becalm the security people, but it has already created chaos for you. Um,
Is like chaos, like there's a line outside my office?
I think that if you are in your office, then there are people definitely trying to get to speak with you about shipments out, and surely this doesn't affect our business, blah blah blah, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So uh, there is, you will hear some discussion. It's loud enough, and these walls are thin enough that you definitely will hear that there's a general clamor. And then it will get kind of quiet, like sound will die off, and there'll be someone that will clearly has the guts to ring your bell.
Enter.
And you will see the doors will open, and you will see a figure step in that you've probably gotten from your briefing. And you will see the Lyran representative will uh, poke her head inside. I'm sorry, Commander Bontali. Could I have a few moments of your time?
Mistress Den Sata, you beat me to it. I was looking to arrange a conversation with you. Please have a seat.
She will sit down, and she will definitely do that thing where she takes in the room. She like notes everything. You see her mentally cataloging all the things in here, comparing it to when she's been in here before, everything that has changed. And she will say, and how have you found things?
I'm a person who likes to get down to work very quickly, and I was delighted to find that there's a lot of work to be done.
So you said that you wish to speak to me. Was there some business you had before I go to my presentation, as it were?
Um, you know what? Why don't we start with you? I can only assume that you're here to talk about having access to to the station. What are we calling this thing again? The Tantalus object, to the
Yes,
object.
I understand that that is not your area, that you are not the person who commands that.
I am not the person who provides access, but I am the person who sort of schedules when access happens.
Absolutely. I merely wanted to speak with you. I understand that departures have been shut down, and that's meant that a number of berths are closed off.
Mm.
Um, I have arriving soon a set of scientific equipment uh, to be put to general use, not simply from the Lyran scientists, but for the science team that would be going over. I put in a request with my government, and they have provided a number of high-end gear that is particular to technology that my people use. So you may understand that one of my goals is to get this on so that I may grease the wheels, I believe is your term, to get access to the science station later. However, all of the docks are filled, so I wanted to see if I could arrange maybe something where there's a swap or some sort of priority when my colleagues arrive.
What is the nature of this scientific equipment?
We we have a number of devices that use a very different kind of sensor array compared to Federation sensors. Uh, it's based on some of our shield technology and so on. So that plus I did I did speak with your predecessor about like what were some of the gaps and sort of general materials and things that would be helpful to the station in general. And I may have put some of those things on the list there to try and round it out. You don't want to send an empty ship. You want to take, you want to
It's as
take up
much
all
space
the
as you
space.
have. Yes.
Exactly. It is a fine logistical problem. So I made sure that every inch was devoted to this.
Have you coordinated with the science department? Is Lieutenant Keel or Dr. Sulu aware of the incoming equipment?
I and I mean no disrespect about this. I did speak with Dr. Sulu, but it would be uh, uh, let us say his attention seemed elsewhere
Hmm.
when I spoke to him.
When do you expect this equipment to arrive?
I would expect it to be here in another day.
Another day? You
Yes.
couldn't have given me more notice.
This lockdown, as it were, changed things. I thought it would be a simple matter, and I wouldn't want to use up what goodwill I have so early.
Mr. Stensetto, I hope you have learned, as I have, that aboard this station there are no simple matters.
Too true. Too true.
Is it feasible to transport this equipment, or must it be unloaded physically?
Some of it can be transported, but there's a portion of it that will need to be brought on physically. Delicate materials and calibration of them, as you can understand.
And if the transportation crew needs to orbit for a day or so while we work out the logistics, would that be a problem?
I will make it not a problem.
Um,
I know that there are tensions over access to the object between my government and some of the other governments and the Federation. So I want to make sure that there's nothing that would exacerbate those tensions.
I can't speak to that, but I can try and get your scientific equipment on board the ship.
Excellent. Eh, And what is it that I can do for you, Commander?
That is a very interesting question. Did you have something in mind?
I know when it came in, it seemed that you had planned to meet with me, so I thought I would ask if there was something in particular.
I only wanted to learn about your people's needs in terms of having access to the object, but it seems none of us have access to it at this point, so perhaps there's nothing to discuss yet. Let me see about getting the scientific equipment on board. Um, is it feasible for me to sort of try and read her a little bit and
Absolutely. Yeah. Well,
just see if there's more to this story?
sure. That definitely feels like insight. I think insight plus command.
Sure.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm just seeing if any of my talents, which I'm pretty excited about, but do not seem relevant. Though cold reading,
Yeah, you'll get a bonus momentum for this.
yeah. Sorry, I did not open the dice roller before. I
So
believe
that's
that's two
two
successes.
successes. So what is it you want to know? Like, what's your question here?
Um, I think the intelligence officer in me wants to know, is she just trying to get some equipment on board the ship that can be used against the Federation in some way? This strikes me as, even though I'm Federation and Starfleet, as a person of the universe, this strikes me as a little too good to be true to have someone just show up with some helpful scientific equipment that they will let anyone use.
It is very clear to you that like the secondary agenda is if you're using our equipment, if we've got this in there, we will have we've got bugs all over it,
Right.
that kind of thing. We will get, all of the readings, unfiltered by any kind of Federation control or anything like that. It is very clear, very openly kind of spyware in some ways.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have another
Since I,
question?
yeah,
Yeah.
I, I want to know, um, uh, I don't know if I would be able to glean this, but is I guess did she and Zareth have any other kinds of relationship or like arrangement? My predecessor.
You definitely have the feeling like she is comfortable in this office,
Mm.
in a way that
She made
suggests
herself at
to
home.
you that she was very comfortable coming down here, very comfortable speaking to your predecessor. To suggest that they had various arrangements, probably some things off the books and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Does that
Thank
seem
you.
fair?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. And then she will bow the Lyran greeting and will depart. Ensign Gop, what are you up to?
Um, well, Gop is trying to put behind her the unfortunate dinner thing. So I think Ensign Gop is kind of thinking, okay, one thing I'm good at and where I feel at home is in engineering, solving engineering problems.
Hmm.
And so I think, if GOP is given an assignment, she will throw herself into that. If she doesn't have something specifically, I think she would be at the roundabout, um, trying to kind of make some engineering tweaks and improvements to the roundabout. Um,
Absolutely. Uh, you will head down to the roundabout. Uh, it's nice. You've got it set up. It looks great. Head down there, and again, larger shuttle bays than on a starship, a little bit wider and taller. There are probably racks for moving things around. I think, there are a few technicians who work on these things who are will, give you a wave and you will go over. What are you working on? Something inside, something outside? What's the runabout? Yeah.
yeah. Um, well, you know, GOP, given the situation and how everybody is now looking at everybody else trying to make their way to the Tantalus object, GOP has an idea that, the runabout, if we could get some type of cloaking um, device working on the runabout, that would be very useful because,
Not a
you know,
full cloaking device, but some kind of sensor interference, right?
yeah, something that would make it a little bit more difficult for, people to track, um, to take note of, I think would be a useful thing given the kind of charge situation.
Okay, so going inside, working on some of the sensor things, seeing how you might create an interference wave, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Absolutely. All right. Hey, you do me a favor. Will you make me a fitness plus security roll?
Okay, fitness plus security. Um, so my fitness is 7. So I have 10. I mean, in terms of whether other things would come into play here, what is
Oh, I don't think any of your focuses apply here.
okay. All right. So this is a 10. All right. Let's see what the dice have to say.
Okay. One
Oh,
more die.
I thought I had two there. Well, here comes another one. That one looks pretty good.
Yeah. So you're like, that's odd. A little like there's a little like door error when you go to open it. You hit it again, and the door will come open, and this wave of water will come pouring out of the runabout, and will start washing you along. Uh, and I think that uh, you'll find yourself, I mean, it goes down almost like getting sucked towards the force field to exit, and you have to kind of grab yourself, clawing on there as the last of this water kind of pours out of the runabout.
GOP hails the AI system.
Okay. Also, just to tell you the complication, everyone saw this.
Mhm.
Okay. You hail the AI system.
Um, why why is the runabout filled with water? Immediately, Gop is thinking about the previous, the Jeffries tube incident, where there was also a kind of water flooding problem.
There's a pause, and the computer will say, I am not programmed for Ferengi riddles.
Um, well, this is not a riddle. There was previously a problem with flooding in the Jeffries tubes. And could you please evaluate whether the excess of water coming out of the runabout is related to the excess of water that was in the Jeffries tube?
Information insufficient.
Um,
Do you want to examine it? Should we go to like an engineering role at this point, you think, maybe?
yeah, I think Gop at that point would say, um, you are dismissed. Um, and will, kind of
I'm
rip
always here, it says.
yourself. Well, um, I would at least like to dismiss your voice right now. And so we'll say, silence, please.
Okay.
And she will then make her way aboard the runabout, with, pulling up like the incident report in the Jeffries tube, and then with that in hand, kind of trying to kind of assess what is going on with the excess water pouring out of my
Yeah.
runabout.
That feels like reason plus engineering.
Okay. And so that will be
You may use ship systems, so you'll get another D20.
okay. All right. So that's 11. All right. Let me go. Hopefully this will work. I should have 3 rolling now.
Okay. So that is 3 successes. So what is your question? And then you've got 2 momentum that you can use for additional questions or put them in the pool. What is the question you want answered here?
Well, I guess the overriding question is, GOP has dealt with this situation this type of situation before. And so I think the question, the big question immediately is what has caused this problem so that I can effectively avoid this in the future.
So I think what I'm going to give you is I'm going to like fork off of that into the information that you can get right here. The thing is that the computer and your sensors have a real problem here because it looks like with the readings that you get that there's no water in the runabout, and then suddenly there is water in the runabout. And it's not a replicator and it's not a transporter. Like there's no transporter signal and the replicators didn't create the water in there. Like that seems to be kind of the shape of the problem here. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Yeah, that's a fair answer.
Okay.
It kind of eliminates some obvious, sources of this, but
You've got 2 momentum. You can spend that on questions, 1 for 1. You can put it in the momentum pool. What would you like?
um maybe I'll so I can use one to create ask another question.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's not the replicator and it's not a kind of transporter issue. I mean, could I get to what the actual source of this water is?
Think you'll
Like,
run through the sensors and all of that kind of thing. And there is a subspace rupture that occurs, and the water seemingly comes out of that subspace rupture.
okay. So I think with that, I will bank the other momentum.
Okay.
Um, but I think I will also, and we can end the scene with this, but
Yeah.
I think it will end with me. Who would be the one? I mean, would it be Lieutenant Kyle? Who would be the most?
They're the senior science
Yeah,
person, especially when the security person is occupied essentially running a kind of census of personnel on the station, given that mysterious death of that Regellan.
yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll kind of put out a message to Lieutenant Kyle that I've run into some plumbing issues that seem to be actually much more serious than simple plumbing issues.
Uh, let's do a scene. Let's have Keel call a scene, and then we'll come back to Ensign Asha. So Keel, do you want to investigate something? Do you want to talk with one of the NPCs? Do you want to talk with one of the PCs? What scene would you like to have now?
Yeah, let's follow up with Ensign Gop straight away.
Okay.
I think like initially that communicate like a complicated plumbing issue. Well, I mean, um, that still sounds like an engineering problem, Ensign Gop. What exactly do you mean?
Well, I've run into now in my short time on the station two incidents where I have opened up a hatch or a door and I think GOP is still kind of dripping a little bit, right?
Still a little moist.
Yeah, yeah, and right, I've opened a hatch or a door to um address some engineering issue, and I have been faced with a literal deluge of water. Um, I don't normally perspire as you are now, maybe thinking I do perspire, but um, you know, day ago I was asked to do uh, some work in a Jeffries tube, and lo and behold, um, opened a hatch for the Jeffries tube, and a flood of water comes out. And then today, I'm going to do some assessment and some work on the runabout, and I open the door, and there's water. And now, normally you would say, well, okay, so there's something going on with our sometimes creative AI system, or some malfunctioning replication going on. But um, I dug into it a little bit more today, given the second time that this has happened, and what my what my investigation is showing me is that there's some type of subspace rupture that is creating
Okay.
this, which makes it, I think, a much more well, a much more potentially dangerous problem.
Okay, Ensign. I mean, I would just lead with that next time. Um, we're all terribly busy, and yeah, but a subspace issue. I mean, this might explain or drowning, right? Which is obviously a matter of concern. Um, okay, well, let's do a scan.
Uh, uh, Lieutenant Keel, reason plus science?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not sure whether this is tricorder or whether we can use like the shuttles sensors. Well,
I'll give you a choice. You can use tricorders and you'll have a focus, or you can use the ship systems and get an extra die.
okay. I also have sensor operations as a focus.
It's interesting.
Is that
Uh,
cheating?
that seems fair. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Um, and I don't know if GOP can help. It seems like overkill, but we can go first.
So let's have you roll the 2d20.
That is
There's
three successes.
Three successes.
Yeah,
Gop, would you like to roll an engineering plus reason die? See if we can get an extra success on there.
Sure. So
Just 1d20.
all right. And engineering plus reason, so I'm needing, so 11 is what I'm looking for. And 1d20.
Okay. So we have four successes. Uh, Keel, what is your first question?
I think based on the two timings that we have from the incident and maybe a little bit from the drowning, I guess let's look at whether there's any spikes in energy readings or any sensor or any subspace activations like from the station. itself, or in fact, like anything aboard the station? Is that a initial question?
Absolutely. I think that seems like a reasonable uh, thing to do. Uh, you will pick up that at those times and a couple of other times, you will pick up over the last 3 days, there have been brief uh, subspace fluctuations that correspond. They're so short and they're so like narrowly located that they're not setting off big scale alerts or anything like that. Um, it's just a brief fluctuation. And you'll definitely get that, when that pressure sensor for the Jeffries tube that GOP went to, like about an hour before that, there was a fluctuation in that spot. Uh, the Magellan, like they found his body in a hallway, but there was a nearby fluctuation there. And of course, there's a fluctuation by the runabout. And there are a couple of others, one on the locked deck of the station that's not used, and one in a lower like storage containment place on the lower level.
Okay.
So you've got a few more questions to ask here.
Yeah, so I got a free question, I think, based on the science officer role.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Can
So
we,
you've got 3 questions left right now after the
okay.
initial success here.
Um, can we ascertain the source? I mean, like the geographical, locational source of these. What's the other end of this subspace signal?
It seems to be something that is in subspace. Like it's not something that's physically on the station.
Okay.
2 more questions.
Um,
Sploosh.
Bob, do you have any questions to from your side?
Um,
By the way, you also described it as water. I should have been saying liquid.
okay.
Okay.
Um, I guess one thing that immediately comes to mind would be if, um, I mean, just thinking about whether there's a pattern, either in terms of time, like is this something that is happening on a periodic basis that seems to be somewhat regular, and also just in terms of where they are, where these fluctuations are appearing, whether there seems to be any pattern to.
Yes, yes. There is a problem with this ship and with a number of the pieces. I mean, the station and their pieces is that it has been built up over time, like the runabout has been built up over time. And in each of these cases, nearby where this has happened, there is a converter junction. Basically, imagine that it's a place where a couple of different like conduit transfer power systems that are incompatible are together so that they can work. Like it's essentially it's a multi-plug. There are spots like that. And in each of these cases, like there's one on the runabout, and there is one near each of those spots. There are probably 3 dozen of those on the station, including some that are
Um,
in really delicate places. Last question.
I mean, not water is all of a sudden very interesting to me. Can we identify this liquid or where it's coming
Absolutely.
from?
While it is predominantly water. The thing that will strike you is that there is biomatter in it. Uh, and a check on it will reveal that it is some kind of plant-based biomatter that there are trace amounts in it. Um, like if it had been stored in a gourd or something, that kind of thing. And
Okay.
that is all your questions. I'm going to cut
Yeah.
away from you two. Ensign Asha. Uh, so I think there has been kind of a chaotic, I need you to take care of these people, this kind of thing, and a little bit of a chaos there. But then when there's a breather, Meriwether will kind of gesture for you to come over and has you sit down in what's clearly the former chief medical officer's office. Um, and she will sit down and she'll say, "Ah, so tell me about yourself."
Oh, raised on Bajor, went to academy, studying medicine, planning, hoping to become a counselor. But, I'm still taking all the regular medical courses. I want to, be a psychiatrist and a
You
counselor.
see
So,
her pull
medical
up
doctorate,
pull
medical
up the
degree
pen.
as well. So,
Oh, okay. Okay.
so, there's
No,
still
no,
a
no,
lot of
no. You've got more medical training than just about anybody
yourself.
else besides me
Mm.
on the station. Some of the security team have some first aid training and so on. And Commander Skilla, has some medical background. Um, uh, that's not to dismiss we haven't had a counselor on the station for a very long time, and
But
given
it
what's going
sounds,
on, yeah.
yes, it seems like there's a staffing issue, and I'm happy to
Yes.
help as best I
Um,
can.
so I am the interim chief here.
I feel like,
I'm a non-com, but I
okay.
am Starfleet. So um,
Yeah, no, I
if
understand.
it, like it says I tell you that so you understand what the hierarchy of command
Yeah, no, you're in
is. Okay,
charge
yeah, yeah.
of medical
Um,
on the
you
station.
met Lieutenant Keel. He and Commander Skilla are the two highest ranked Federation personnel on here. We have a number of others, but there's a lot of civilian people operating here. Most of
Yeah,
our standard
space
med
station.
staff, yeah,
Yeah,
most of our standard med staff are civilian. Um, so what can I tell you?
I mean, you just tell me what you need me to do, and I'll do it. What about you? Tell me about yourself. And the professor, that seems, I'm guessing, new?
Uh, we have a new logistics person, Commander Bontali, and I don't understand the full dimensions of it, but she was able to get a fell off the back of a starship EMH, is how it was described to me. I have been assured that it is safe, but
Well,
the safety seems to come like they're like, yes, we set all these firewalls and things, so there's no problem. He's fine. He has all the knowledge I'd expect from a standard EMH. His bedside manner is, as you can see, a little lacking.
well, I've been told I'm very good at that.
Well,
So I
maybe you
can
can
make up for
help.
that, but
Yeah, maybe you can help him get that merchant to move along
I,
because the merchant is
I'll do
not
my best.
listening
How would
to
you like to be addressed? Chief or
uh, uh, Meriwether or Nurse Meriwether,
okay.
not chief.
Okay,
I
okay.
don't. Yeah. So what do you want to do, Asha?
I'm going to try to help calm the situation and try to convince the people that are ready to leave that they are ready to leave.
Okay. Moriarty has kind of given up on that, but they still need that bed.
Yeah.
So you go over,
Of
and
course.
it is the Lyran merchant. We saw
Uh-huh.
him last episode. He had been stabbed. Uh, uh, so he is there, and he clearly does not wish to leave. And he
Uh-huh.
will look up as you approach. Hello.
Hello. Just pull out the tricorder. I'm just doing a quick one over, making sure. Yes, well, that seems to be, going around a lot of fake coughing, but
What you mean?
okay. Well, look, uh, it's I'm looking at his pad to see how I'm supposed to address
His
him.
name is Mr. Anestes.
Mr.
I will,
Anestes, it
I
seems
will put him in the NPC tab.
you've been treated. Oof, that must have been painful for you. But it seems, according to all my scans, everything seems like you're good to go. And I'm sure you don't want to keep your checking out background, see if like he has a occupation or a stall on the.
They are a merchant trader on board the vessel. They do a lot. You can see that they are stationed here. They don't have a ship of their own. They're
Oh,
clearly that kind of thing.
this seems like you've been getting a lot of requests for meetings. You probably have some business that you need to get back to.
Let's have you make a presence plus command.
Hmm.
And you certainly have a focus for this.
Yeah, diplomacy, I'm guessing.
Yep. Or
Or
psychology. Either one will be
it's
appropriate
true.
here.
Sadly, the bedside manner talent doesn't help here, but
Yeah.
it should. All right, so and right, presence and command for 12. Yeah, it's all right. So that is three
Three
successes, of
successes.
course.
So I think two of those successes will like he eventually has to kind of give in. You kill him with kindness, and eventually he's all right, and will gather himself together to leave. And when he hops up, he's fine. Like he's clearly
Of
fine.
course.
Um, you have one momentum after
Hmm.
that you can use to ask a question, or you can bank it
I'm
in.
gonna bank it.
Okay.
Yep. You have a wonderful day.
I will try. I'll try. Boop. Uh, let's take our first break here. Let's take 10 and we'll come back and we'll come back with Bontali. So Bontali, and again, when we take up, you've been apprised of these various things as they're going on. What scene do you want to call? Who do you want to talk to? What do you want to deal with? What do you want to work on?
Um, I had a couple ideas. Um, I feel like since she's already talking to these other factions, that maybe I should seek out Bilok of the ISC.
Well, we're going to hold off on Balak, remember, because we want to do that
Yep.
scene with um
Oh, right. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, then my other idea was to I feel like there's probably some kind of like control center for the berths where the ships kind of come in, and so maybe
Absolutely.
I would sort of wander over there to get out of my office and to talk to whomever sort of whoever's on my team there to talk about the logistics of moving ships around.
Absolutely. Uh I will grab an NPC picture.
I
We'll
can't believe
find
I'm
one.
doing project management in this game, but here we are.
Yeah. This is probably the flight controller effectively
Yes.
for the station there. Let's see, we'll grab somebody here. Um, that would probably be a Starfleet position just for
Yeah.
those purposes. So let me grab someone. Let's see. Uh, Sorry, of course I'm in my folder looking through. So is the question, oh, here, well, it is occasion there.
Where'd you put them? Put them.
Up at the current episode,
Okay. Nice.
Morenic.
Lieutenants?
Yeah,
Are we gonna say
yeah,
Lieutenant
yeah.
Rennick?
Probably a junior lieutenant, maybe
Yep.
on the cusp of going up a rank. Uh, has some headset and stuff, and you've crossed paths with her a couple of times.
Right.
You know,
But we
uh,
haven't scheduled our one-on-one
yeah.
yet, and I'm feeling a little guilty
Yeah,
about that.
her
So,
bushy eyebrows will go up when you come in, and to kind of gesture for you to sit, and she will stay. No, you're gonna remain in that position for a while. Yes, we'll get back to you. And oh, wait, we're having communication issues, and she'll tap the comm.
Lieutenant, I'm so sorry to bother you. I know things are incredibly busy.
Uh, the, there's actually a certain relief that I don't have to be guiding people in right now, as
Okay.
much.
I'm happy to give you a little bit of a break. Do you need to stay here, or maybe can we walk for a bit?
Uh, hold on. Let me check. Hey, hey, how are you doing? Can you handle things for a while? Yeah, there's a good AI. All right, good, good, good. And she'll stand up. Yeah, shall we walk?
Yeah, and I think we kind of head towards the promenade uh, area. Um, Even though it's probably pretty chaotic there, maybe gives us a bit of privacy. And I explained that the Lyrans have this ship coming, and I want to help them out, but I don't want to be too helpful. Um, is there maybe ask her to sort of give me a sense of like the comings and goings over the next day or so.
And she kind of has an encyclopedic knowledge of that, and she'll kind of run through. She will say if the administrator doesn't extend the departure ban, then like there are three ships that are ready to go that we can have prepped so they can leave as soon as that clears. And I can reserve one of those spots for somebody that you want to come in.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I mean, I'm having trouble figuring out this administrator. What what do you think it would take for her to do us a favor and lift this ban?
She'll say, I don't think she's gonna. Here's the thing. I think 24 hours lockdown is probably the minimum that she could get away with and look strong. She's not going to extend that.
Hmm.
She
Okay,
understands how important business is. Um, and uh, so if there's anyone who is asking for that to be extended, and that includes our security officer, we may find that over the next several hours that Administrator Morale is not in her office and unable to be located on the station.
understood. Understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, she gets what she wants. She's very smart about that. But she doesn't like confrontations.
Good to know. Um, I may have to talk to her if things get complicated, but it sounds like maybe our problems will be solved if we just sort of let the travel ban run its course.
Absolutely. And then she'll kind of stop and she'll say, have you met Captain Nur?
I believe we have crossed paths, but that might have been someone else.
Yeah, this was the woman who was in the office when you went to meet the
Yes,
administrator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Does Captain Nur have special pull with our illustrious administrator?
Yes. In the sense that Nur has been known to get us things that we need. And there's been a lot of space horse trading. And she's also, as you know, there are a lot of merchants around here. There and a lot of traders and things like that. Um, the person that they go to when there's an issue is not Starfleet.
Hmm.
It's Captain Nur to get things settled. So she's a good person to know. Uh, she's helped me in the past deal with some, let us say, captains who have been a little overboard in their demands.
This is really helpful information, Lieutenant. I'm going to make a note in your Starfleet record that you've been doing exemplary work.
I would appreciate that. I mean, I enjoy what I do, but I wouldn't mind getting up a rank. I've been lieutenant junior grade for about 3 years now, if I may speak freely.
That that is a tragedy and one that we will need to solve. Um, can you let me know if Captain Nur approaches you for anything? You don't have to let her know that you're letting me know, but it'd be helpful to us and Starfleet to know what sort of aid she's providing and requesting.
Yeah, she checked in with me about a merchant vessel that arrived a few days ago. It was a little unusual for her to ask and to check on some of the details on it. A guy named Fantasio. He's a free trader.
Just add it to the list, okay? Uh, um, that's helpful. Do you sense that this travel ban applies to Captain Nur, or have you seen any movement of any of
I think if
her
Captain Nur wanted to leave, that she would find a way to leave, but she isn't rocking the boat right now.
Understood. That was fun. We can leave it there.
Okay, I think
Someone else.
that's good. Let's come back to Ensign Gop. What scene would you like to call?
Um, so I mean, one thing that comes to mind would be that Gop would be inspecting some of these. I mean, I don't, would there be an engineering detail that would be set out to inspect these spots that may end up being
I think
problematic?
that there is the thing where you go to report that in and ask if there should be an engineering detail to be sent out. And I think then like you and three others are dispatched to spots on board the ship. Does that seem
Yeah,
reasonable?
yeah.
So what is your goal here?
Well, I think, GOP prioritizes and tries to figure out which of the spots that I've been assigned to are the most sensitive
Okay.
spots. And um, I think, GOP's goal, aside from just kind of checking these out to make sure that they're functioning properly, I mean, Gop obviously knows that there's more to this mystery,
Hmm.
right? It's to like why this is going on. And so, I mean, I think when Gop gets there, um, you know, she'll do some extra like scanning of the area and looking at these nodes to see, you know, is there something kind of unusual going on with how these uh converter junctions are set
Yeah.
up.
So let me ask you your priorities. So we've got sort of three things here. Protecting the junction, uh, figuring out what this thing is and why it's happening, uh, and even a third one, like seeing if you can activate it, kind of thing. So what would be your priority here?
Well, I mean, she obviously wants to protect the
Okay.
station, but I think she sees this as an as a potential opportunity, right? For
Okay.
something uh
Let's
for
do
something new.
control plus engineering.
Okay.
And I think your electroplasma power system, since we talked about this being a power thing, uh, is something that you can use here.
Okay.
And this is an engineering task.
So control plus. All right, so that's
Do
a
you want to buy an extra die with momentum?
yeah, sure. I think that would be useful.
Okay.
If this turns out well, she feels like, yeah, this will
Yeah.
definitely kind of help her. So that gives me three.
3D20. You want to looking for a 15 and a 4 or less is going to be critical. Now, here's one of those mechanisms that we have in here. You could, if you wanted to, spend a point of determination to re-roll.
Mhm.
And you just say what value is, and you could re-roll those two dice that were fails.
Um, yeah, I'll spend the determination.
Okay. What value are you hitting? Are you tagging to have that happen?
One of my values, um, I have this value. Matters of great concern should be treated lightly. Matters of small concern should be treated seriously. Um, the fact that it has to do with like what seems like, a simple converter junction,
Mm-hmm.
seems like a small, I think people on the outside would think of it as a small little kind of just in, it's like people would think, oh, it's just like a plug or something like that. But right, I think that
Yeah.
taking this, yeah, particularly seriously with the engineering of these junctions and what's going on with them.
So we got one success, and you can roll two more d20. We're re-rolling those two fails.
Okay. So I'll just roll the two
Yep.
here. Yeah.
So the three is a critical, so that's three successes. So I think like one of the things you can kind of look at, like the subspace resonance field. Give me a piece of technobabble. What is it that you have to change here on this power conduit to get it protected?
Yeah, I think I need to nullify the phased resonating conversion catalyst that's on the
Absolutely. Once you get that set, you're pretty certain that this whatever well, is attracting this subspace thing is going to be negated in this area. And so that was two of the successes. You got one more success that you can ask a question with.
um well I want so I know how to negate it. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I'm wondering if it'd be helpful to use that to create a trait.
You need two
Oh, you need
momentum
two to do the.
to
Okay.
trade. But I think that if you
Well,
want to
mhm.
like establish fictional positioning, you use your question like you know now how to like artificially
Yeah,
generate that.
yeah. That's what I guess my question would then be like can I figure out how to both negate as well as to perhaps um, if not create it, at least create conditions,
Absolutely.
right?
You've
That would
got to
be.
reverse the reverse polarity
Mhm.
on that phase thing that you mentioned. So, and then once you've got that set, you can do that. Now you did spend a momentum on this roll. So you get to roll a d20, and if you roll an 11 or less, we get a momentum back to the pool.
Right.
If you roll 12 or higher, I get a
Eight.
point of threat.
Correct.
Look at that.
So you get the threat.
I get the threat. But you will get that set. And I think that you can communicate that to the other teams so they can start to, you know, you will collaborate and they will start to like prioritize what are the places that need to be protected the most, and get those. The problem is it's going to take time.
Mhm.
And I think there will be at least one thing where you will get like a pressure alert in another section. And again, there'll be another compartment that's flooded. Let's come back around to Keel.
And Lowell, remind me, I mean, there's some of these uh, inverters that are in like areas that are kind of off limits, right? Or will require
There,
some diplomatizing.
so there's one of them that did activate down in the area that's off limits. The other ones are probably in areas that you're accessible. About half of them are like you really want to get those protected, and about half are if the water happens there, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. I wonder if this is an excuse to, or a good reason to go visit Bontali, who might be able to arrange access to one of these off-limits places, or if there's a diplomatic incident on the cards, or if it's one of these kind of locked out portions, whatever makes the most sense.
Sure. Let's see that the place that you need to get to is a Lyran, a cargo thing that is from a Lyran merchant that's kind of in lockdown. So where Bontali, where does Keel find you? Is it on the promenade? Is it somewhere else? Is it Zot's? Is it in your office?
I like the idea of me. I've said goodbye to the junior grade lieutenant, and maybe Keel finds me on the promenade about to head back to my office.
Yeah. And I think I like bring you up to speed with what we've discovered, and maybe I know that GOP has been making progress with the rest of the engineering team, and then one of these is in the Lyran quarters or area. So for their safety, I think you should arrange. Um, you should arrange for someone to get in there.
Sure.
We can come back around to me once the emergency.
Uh, well, in that case, let me come to Aisha, and then we'll come back to Keel in that scene. Aisha, what scene do you want? I mean, are we after your shift? Are we
Yeah,
yeah, what
after the shift makes sense.
okay. Uh
She's
where are we gonna see you
she's
then?
like, well, where's my quarters for one? What is there to do in this station?
Yeah. I think one is you like you had a little bit of room on the Kintsugi, but you're back again in that kind of classic ensign lower deck bunks thing. That sort of space
Oh,
right now. I think
I don't even
Nurse
think he had a
Merriweather
room in the
would.
duty. So
Nurse Merriweather would have told you that she'll try and get you someplace closer at some point, but
okay.
yeah, and you've got three bunkmates that are in that area with you. And when you go on the promenade, like this is wild. There are so many booths and shops and stalls. It's densely packed. There are people there. And
Are there any of the other players, characters that I could run into?
how about we do GOP on this. I th
Ensigns make sense.
Yeah, I think you will see a Ferengi ensign. That's kind of unusual.
Hey, former bunkmate. I had a Ferengi.
Okay, who is kind of has the she has the look of the labors of the world on her shoulder. I think a little bit there coming back. Um,
Oh, hey, Ensign.
Oh, and Ensign Gop, and I don't
And
believe we've met. Are
no,
you
no,
with?
I'm just arrived earlier today. Uh, medical team.
Oh,
I'm helping out in medical. Apparently, we need lots of help. Uh,
this station, you'll find. I think that we need a lot of help in a lot of areas. It's
okay, well, that makes sense. There's a war going on.
um
Uh,
yes, and
would you
and
be up for showing me around? I'm Asha, by the way.
oh, Ensign Gop. Yeah, I would be happy to show you around around the station.
Okay,
Um,
great. Because literally, I found my bunk and now I'm just wandering. What is there to do here when off duty?
um, well, and we're on the promenade, correct?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot, but
Yeah. So, I say, well, there's a lot of um there's a lot of figures out here on the promenade, and we have a kind of small but booming kind of market area.
okay. All right.
Um, but I would say you need to keep your head on a swivel. There are some people who are nice and friendly, and some people who some types that are not as friendly. I mean,
I think in the
Well,
background we see a couple of Argelian walking by, and they kind of make eye contact with GOP, and one of them does this, and they keep walking.
yeah, and Gop
friends of
will
yours?
um
Friends of yours? Did you like, what did
no,
you do?
I
I don't want to make assumptions.
um I didn't really do anything, but those Rigelians in particular seem to be um well, they seem to be interested in me, and not in a positive way.
Hmm. I feel like that's pretty apparent.
But there are also kind of interesting places that aren't on the main thoroughfare here. Do you know about Zotz?
No, is that is that like a is that like a Dabo place?
It's a restaurant
Oh, okay.
and
Have you ever had
cafe.
Dabo?
But what is that?
Dabo? Oh, it's a game of chance. It's kind of like roulette, but like very different.
Now I'm trying to remember. Is Dabo? Is that a?
That is what is played in Quarks in
Yeah.
Oh,
DS9.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how
Well,
to describe it.
okay, so yeah, if you're interested in the games, and I guess Gop would know about such things. It would say so. But you're interested in games, not just games, but games where you put a little bit on the line.
Well, yeah, what's the point of having a game if nothing's at risk?
Um, I haven't been, I've only been here a short time. I don't know of any establishments per se,
Okay.
but I would be interested in setting up such game.
That sounds great. Or we could find some together sometime.
Yeah, it would certainly add a little excitement, I think, to the mix if we
Yeah.
could get games of chance and risk with a little bit of harmless wagering.
Yeah. I don't know what we'll wager. We don't get paid or have money. But we'll figure something out. Shift hours, probably.
There's definitely, you can tell that there is definitely an economy of like non-Starfleet stuff that's going on around here as well. This is much less a post-scarcity station than most places.
Maybe we could like get ourselves better quarters if we gamble about well enough.
Yeah, and Gop will let you know, say, oh, and you may not know this, but there are on the station um, many we would call them refugees of sorts, but people who have been involved in
The war.
collecting artifacts and such
Oh,
things.
okay.
So I think that you know the that there are kind of interesting economies
There's
of
potential,
different
is what
sorts that are
I'm hearing.
happening on the station.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, let's go to your favorite place and then just relax for a bit.
Yeah, and I think Gop would then take Asha and show Asha the way to Zatz.
Yeah. And Asha, this is a place that no map works here.
Hmm.
Everything is sort of word of mouth, figuring out how to get down before you find yourself at that hole in the wall. Uh, let's come back to Keel and Bontali.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I guess I'm introducing the problem and the Lyran angle, and
Wait,
I'm
did you
wondering,
say
maybe do you have
did you say it's in the Lyran area?
one of the conduits is in the Lyran, uh, what do we say, concession? Given
The
that we've
Lyran's
one
just
fatality associated with this already and
yeah,
several near misses, I would think as a matter of safety,
no doubt.
uh, it'll be in their interest to allow a team in.
Yes, it would be. It would definitely be of interest. Why don't you and I go and speak to them right now,
Oh, okay,
and
sure.
I ask the computer to locate Dinsada.
Absolutely. You will get referred to where Densada is, on the promenade, you'll head down. You'll find Mistress Densada in the equivalent of a tea house that's there, kind of set up, and she's talking, and she will see you come in and rise. You will see she's talking to a couple of other people, and but they will excuse themselves, and she'll say, Commander Bentali and Lieutenant Keel.
May we join you?
Please, please, please do.
Lieutenant-
I know the only reason I know this place is from Keel's recommendation.
Oh, Lieutenant Keel, maybe you can explain the urgent situation that we are dealing with.
Absolutely. And I think I'll order a pot of red leaf tea for us to share, because, priorities. Um, yeah, but Bontali I've introduced to Zots. So, it's I should really get some kind of loyalty perk or recommendation perk. But no, it's doing good is what keeps me going. Um,
So what is the situation that you have an issue with?
there's some power coupling. Look, there's a dangerous situation involving some power couplings, which are causing subspace interference, leading to liquid appearing in spaces. We've had a few near misses and one fatality associated with this drowning hazard.
Fatality.
Indeed.
All right.
And one of these, several dozen,
And this is actually this is one of the places where there was a subspace rupture that was kind of closed off from your general access.
okay. Um, and well, we would like to have your permission to go through your quarters to get to this section.
And to be clear, Mistress, we don't need your permission. This is station safety, but we are here as a courtesy.
Well,
to
it is, there are diplomatic issues at work, and I know that you are following those protocols.
Precisely.
Just give me a moment to look and see. And she'll kind of go through and she will say, as you know, there are a number of Lyran merchants on board the vessel who work with us, and we have provided them with space, as you allowed to us. That particular cargo transport area and storage area belongs to a Mr. Anestes. He's a permanent resident of the station. Why don't we go down there and I will have him come and meet us there?
I appreciate the expediency with which you are dealing with this matter.
Well, after we finish this tea, of course.
Fine.
Bontali,
Just
I'll
subspace.
recommend the almond biscuits with this red tea. Really, this is like a galactic tragedy that this combination isn't known to more civilizations.
And I think we're going to cut forward because I want to do this sort of next step scene. I think we cut to, again, we can tell we're in the bowels of the station. The lights are a little bit dimmer, and there are sort of identical like doors for cargo things here. And it's the three of you, and eventually Mr. Anestes will show up, and he does not look happy to be here at all. And he's kind of looking around, sort of agitated, and Mr. Nestes, and if you would open, and Nestes kind of looks and will punch the security code that they've been given to unlock the door, and essentially, when it opens up, there will be a puddle of liquid that we can kind of pouring out from the doorway.
Can I assume that we've summoned GOP as well to do the necessary engineering?
Yeah, let's say that Dop has been called down in the middle of talking with Aisha, and shall we say that Aisha is there as well, just to kind of get a sense of what's going on.
Whole crew.
Yeah. And Anestes kind of looks and goes, moisture.
Were you not expecting to see this liquid?
I am totally surprised and shocked that there should be moisture here. This station.
Well, the this is why we thought it wise to alert you to the events. I mean, would it be terrible to get an unexpected bath?
Oh, absolutely. It take a second to register that. Oh no, that would be very bad.
We're going to let our engineer in to examine this juncture. Do we have your permission to go in?
And he doesn't say anything, and you'll then sound it will say, "Yes, you have our permission to go in." Mr. Nessis, if you would step back over there and allow them to do the work, and he will step back. You see him though, he kind of looks around, you see him see Asha, and he kind of does this thing where he's like kind of looking down, trying to avoid eye contact.
What's this guy doing?
You'll go inside. I mean, it is a classic, cargo bay. It has a very basic cargo transporter pad. There are classic hexagonal crates in here, Star Trek wise and things, and the floor is covered with about a half an inch of liquid there.
Sir, are you not worried about the liquid damaging any of your goods?
Oh, I am now. Yes, yes, I
Okay.
very much. I did not know there was liquid, and now I know there's liquid. So now I am very bothered by this situation.
All right.
Arbitration, right? Insurance? Yes. Well,
How long is it since you've inspected this space, Mr. Anestes?
uh, I couldn't say for certain.
Approximately?
I wouldn't dare make such a guess with to estimations, Federation,
All right.
Well, when did you go into sick bay? And was it like that before?
I went into sick bay
Because we could
yesterday.
look up the records when
Yeah,
you were
yes,
first
yes, yes.
admitted.
Yes, I was. Yes, so it was definitely before yesterday.
I
Ensign
mean,
Gop.
I'm not an insurance arbitrator, but it would seem that lack of frequent inspections of your space might be seen in poor terms by any such person.
I think, Gop is interested in, I think it would start with Gop at the converter junction area, right? That she would be looking to get to. But she would probably, on the way there, would be kind of looking at what all is in this cargo bay and trying to get a kind of sense of what might be in the crates. And
Certainly. Why don't you make a uh, reason plus engineering roll?
right, so that is 11.
So that is two successes. So I'm going to give you some information, and then I'll allow you to ask a follow-up question, and then I'll come back to the others. Gop, you kind of walk around, wet, damp in here. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of stuff stored in here, actually, that is like he's clearly got a lot of trade goods and things. Most of them are stored in containers. There's not much to worry about liquid-wise. The thing that will strike you is that the transporter's burned out.
Hmm.
Uh, Yeah, which seems unusual. What is your question here?
Um, well, I guess I would try to then assess whether, like, what is the relationship if any, between this subspace anomaly that has happened and this odd transporter burnout?
You will check and you will see that the transporter was used, burned out 3 days ago, which is about the time that this whole sort of anomaly subspace thing started.
And this water issue though is more recent than that. Is
No,
that
that's the water
that would
issue
have been
is
around
tied to that. Yeah. Yeah.
it's that old. Okay, so 3 days old. Okay.
Asha, I
Yeah.
had the sense that you wanted to kind of try to do a read on this guy.
Well, I'm good at assisting other people in a social conflict. So, but yeah, I
Oh,
don't
let's
mind
do it.
trying to get a read on him.
Okay.
I'm just better at assisting others.
I can do it. Let me do
Okay.
it because I have that nice little benefit for
So
a
we'll
social.
assume Gop gives you some of that information, Bontali.
Uh, I'm yeah. So let's do an Estes. Um, I think I want to. I think I'm just sort of asking him sort of small talk questions to suss him out a little bit while Gop is doing her work.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's have you make a presence plus command.
So,
And Asha, you may assist.
with insight command or
Yeah, I think
insight medicine.
that seems reasonable.
Oh my
All right.
God.
So while I'm assisting you, you are considered to have a beneficial trait like psychological profile, in addition to normal benefits.
Oh,
So you had rolled a 7 and an 8, it looks like, Dan.
sure.
That's
Yes.
the two dice I see at the very bottom. So
Yeah.
that's 2 successes. Plus the trait is another one. And then Asha, you will
I
roll
get to
your
roll?
die.
No.
No. But that's effectively reduce the difficulty. So you get 2 successes. Bontali, what do you want from this guy?
Um, I just get one question.
You get 2 questions.
Oh, is he hiding any contraband in here?
I'll let you answer yes or no. You tell me.
Oh, I think yes, to the extent that it lets us spend more time.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think there are some restricted items on there, that are minor things, but are clearly like could easily be used as a pretext to do more extensive stuff. And I think that like there comes a point at which Densada, when that happens, Densada will say, well, uh, if you will remain here with the commander, I have other things to attend to. And she'll turn to you. He is in your hands, Commander, and walks off and leaves him alone with all of you
Because she doesn't want any part of this.
because she wants to, whatever is going on with him, she wants to cut him loose.
Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like she has any part of this, but she's like, I'm not spending any of my capital on this guy.
Mr. Anestes, it appears as if you have some items that are not on the manifest.
Minor oversight, as you know, there's
It's
a lot
true.
of
Let me,
things going
it's
on.
not a problem. Let's just do a complete inventory. That'll give
Yes.
us, we can do that while our engineering team is doing their work.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, Commander Bontali, I mean, regardless of whether it's contraband or not, using the official transporters and damaging them because of the nature of that contraband, I mean, makes it
No, it doesn't. The
It
and
was
kind
like
of
that when I got here.
he doesn't like he starts to say something and then he realizes that he doesn't like he will kind of stop What is it you want to learn from him, Bontali, with your other question?
Thank you for the reminder. I think I want to know what's the deal with the transporter. Was he responsible for this? Was it like it when he got here?
He starts with it was like when I got here, and then Gop can correct him. And there will be a long way around, and he will finally say, look, there was, there was, uh, if, if I were perhaps to tell you about some contraband on another vessel, some illegal shipments and things. Maybe we could kind of like consider that maybe I made a mistake.
What kind of, you tell us what kind of mistake, and I'll let you know if we can make a deal.
Uh I have a I had made arrangements with a fellow who was coming through system. I have a number of Adosian culinary. The Adosians, they are famed for their particular taste. They enjoy rare, unusual goods. This person had a shipment of, let's say, food from a closed planet that I could ship on to people I know amongst the Adosians, and uh, uh, we had a disagreement about the pricing, and
What does this have to do with my transporter?
I, dear sir, dear baby, dear person, I am coming to that. Uh, uh, we had a disagreement, and we had an agreement, but we had a disagreement, and I, in a fit of pique, uh, tried to transport those items off of his ship.
Oh gosh.
Uh, uh, I had the arrangements were made, and when I did that, uh, well, uh, something went wrong with the transport. Then the transporter blew out, and I was nearly drowned with the water that appeared in here.
And you decided it was not worth informing the engineering team about this?
You can understand, perhaps, why I might have avoided informing the engineering team
You can
about.
understand why that maybe taking on a little bit of risk to ensure the safety of this station would be top of mind for
I
you.
I did not think a few fruits lost in transport would be an issue.
It always starts with a few fruits.
Does it?
Yeah,
Is, is that an Endorian phrase?
completely. Um, uh, I inform Ensign Gop that I think a thorough diagnostic of the transporter would help us understand a little bit more about these subspace fluctuations.
And Gop, you still have a momentum for a question.
Um, well, I guess, so he says it was to transport like fruits.
Yes.
Um, and we've got this liquid that has had some type of vegetable matter in it.
Yes.
Um, I guess a question would be, is the vegetable matter that's appearing in the liquid the same type of material that they were trying to transport across, or
You
is
don't
it
know what that was, so I don't think that is a question that you can answer.
okay? Um,
We can also pull the table on this if you want.
yeah. Or can we bank it as momentum if
We can
we,
bank it as momentum.
yeah.
Keel, you've been kind of quiet through this. What do we?
I mean, I'm just enjoying seeing this guy squirm. But s- um, I'll look over at Ensign Asha maybe and say, yeah, you had no idea. Very interesting station.
You're muted.
You,
I think that much is evident, sir.
any Bajoran deity requirements I need to be aware of, Asha?
No, no. I mean, we eat and sleep just like everyone else.
Okay. Well, that's unusual. A lot of people come here having very special requirements.
I mean, can I get a bigger room? That's
Well, Bontali will have to sort that out for you. I am wondering about your mealtime, really, you know.
isn't okay. Are there
Replicators are not so great on this station.
well, Ensign got showed me Zots and that was pretty good.
But that's, made from scratch. And you can't eat Sats every day. I keep telling Bontali that.
But are we don't we like have a federation trade agreement with a lot of these
No,
places?
you have a monthly allowance for
I do?
of 2 strips of gold press platinum,
I
to
look,
make non-federation purchases.
yeah, we didn't have that on the Kintsugi, so okay, good
Well,
to know. Good to
yeah.
know. 2 strips, I can work with that.
I think Mr. Nestes will say, so does that help you?
I think I lost thread. Is our engineering team done examining the juncture?
Gop?
Yeah. Well, and I still have the question I can ask. Is
Yeah,
that
I did. And I'll take it out of the momentum pool if you want to ask the question.
okay? So here's the question I guess I would have is you know, I'm assuming that this transporter issue is, you know, you know, triggering or helping to trigger this. I'm kind of curious then, um, can I determine a connection between this location with its transporter and what was going on with the transporter, and then the other places on the station that we know have experienced this subspace anomaly?
Uh, I don't think it'll tell you exactly why, but what is very clear from the transporter logs is that when he tried to transport, it should have been a normal transport, like he had clearly bribed somebody to get the actual like location of whatever these fruit were.
Hmm.
But there was something about that fruit
Yeah,
that did not agree with the transporter.
yeah,
Uh, and like that whatever that interaction seems to have shunted those fruit like into subspace.
yeah,
And for some reason, something is happening with their interaction with the collision of those different energy sources.
yeah. Yeah, and I'll pass that information along. I mean, I think it would be helpful, and I think it would be helpful to kind of find out more about, you know, the nature of exactly. I mean, he's describing it as a fruit, but it doesn't seem normal fruit does not create this type of reaction in a transporter, right? That it might be helpful for us to figure out exactly what was the nature of this
Well,
fruit or whatever it was.
so that seems like needing to talk to the other merchant there. So let's take 5. We'll come back. We'll come back with the lamp on Fantasio and some of you talking to him, and we'll continue on. Okay. So I imagine we take place. They're in. Our security officers are occupied elsewhere, so for sake, if there's anybody who wants to be in the scene, is in this scene. You know, there is the room. We'll see Fantasio. He's boosted the chair up because he's about 4 feet tall, and he is seated across. He has a moisturizer packet, some sort of sprayer that he sort of continually is nervously spraying himself with as he come here, and uh he's like, I don't understand why I've been brought in here, what matter is this situation I don't know. So how is it that I can help you? I am merely a humble free trader.
I guess I have to lead this interrogation. Uh, you're a humble free trader that is trading in contraband. There are an extensive list, indexed and cross-listed, of goods and services that are expressly not allowed on this station.
What makes you believe that I have any contraband goods? You can certainly check my vessel. You will find nothing of contraband currently on my vessel.
Sure. Do you have what if we check the storage space that you have on the station?
I think you will find my situation is clean.
It's also against the rules of this station for you to request the import of contraband as well. And our source tells us that you were the one who requested these particular items.
Okay, source. So these goods were never, these fruits were never intended to be on the station. They would never be on the station. Certainly my intent to come and make a trade of these goods, and that to happen not on the station. The station would never be involved in this,
Mm,
and they would be passed on. However,
mm,
Mr. Anestes decided to take matters into his own hands when we could not agree on terms of payment,
mm,
and took my goods. And
mm.
that is why I stabbed him.
If only my security person were here. Um, I'm gonna have to take you into custody.
Commander, really,
What's
all we want to
stabbing?
make sure. Well, I was actually in the med bay at the time, I think,
Yeah.
and there was no mention of any, ill will. It was an accident. Isn't that's how you reported it?
This is I certainly, if Mr. Anestes is willing to see our minor tussle as merely horseplay, then I certainly I would have no disagreement with that.
Lieutenant Keel, do the standards of Starfleet not apply here? When one
Well,
person commits violence against another person, they justice must be served.
Absolutely, but when the alleged victim doesn't report something, then then we need to start talking about theft.
You should talk to Mr. Anestes. He has my fruits. He has them. He stole them. He transported them off my vessel. He's the one who brought the contraband on board the vessel.
Have you any samples of this fruit left? Or the storage area, the storage
I did keep one for curiosity's sake.
I think to make sure this kind of thing doesn't happen anymore, we would need that.
I can have one of my crewmen bring it.
No
Lieutenant,
transporters, you'll understand.
Okay.
do you just want to try this fruit? Is that what you're asking for?
Commander, I mean, we need to sample the fruit and see how it is interacting with the subspace, and so that we can ensure that this kind of thing doesn't happen again.
So it's for
And
science.
Absolutely.
Understood.
And
All
we
right,
will,
Mr. Tazio, bring this fruit immediately.
I think we will cut to a like he's gone now, but we're in like a science station with all of you looking around, and there is a weird the prop people have spent some time making an alien, fruit,
Oh my gosh, paper
weird
mache.
spots and colors. It's clearly has the look of like a succulent fruit. Um, very dry on the outside. Um, Keel, it's your time to shine for science to analyze this.
Um, I have one past host focus left for this episode, so I'm just going to declare horticulture.
Okay.
Um, I think I mentioned Arjun already as a warrior priest, and it seems like a very strange focus for a warrior priest to have, but I'm going to go with it.
Okay.
Um, before you become a warrior priest, you've probably been a gardener, right? Or maybe that's where you retire.
I like it.
Um, so horticulture, what?
Reason plus
Um,
science.
reasonable science. Okay, so that is 16.5.
Yep.
I should probably even spend determination given that we are not long for this episode.
Okay.
I can meta game the hell out of this.
Absolutely. I'll spend some threat then. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So I am, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna roll flat.
Okay. So 2 successes. You're rolling 2 dice. High chance of crits.
Nearly 2 successes
2
on the
successes.
dice, so
That's still 4
total.
successes.
Yeah.
So that is enough for you to. You will realize that this is a fruit clearly from a restricted planet, like it isn't in your registry or anything like that. And it is unusual. It is clearly a plant that comes from some kind of desert planet. And what it does is it draws in moisture from the surrounding area, and it actually stores it in a subspace field. It actually has surrounding it a subspace field that is containing all of that liquid, and it is storing it up. And what seems to be happening is that these things, due to the transporter accident, are stuck in subspace, and at a certain point, enough energy builds up in them near those conduit points, and they are essentially releasing their liquid that they have stored up over the course of, you're guessing, years out into the nearby area.
Wild. Well, I guess we should impound this and ensure that nothing like this gets aboard a station or indeed any Federation vessel. let's put out a circular. I think I might write a paper on this.
Okay.
Um, and also, I mean, if I have follow-on questions, it's like, what can I cook with this now that
Oh
we
yeah,
are
I think
impounding it and making sure
absolutely.
that, yeah, it doesn't cause any more problems.
I imagine that once we know the answer to the problem, there is the we can technobabble a solution to remove these fruits from subspace to get them out of the air or purge the subspace zone. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, it sounds
Um,
eminently Star Trek reasonable, right?
Absolutely. In that way that this we kind of almost hand wave the solution once we know what the problem is, which is going to bring us to a chance to do another scene call here, uh, and then we'll wrap the episode. Does that sound reasonable? So let's start with Gop. What would you like to do for your scene, sort of in the aftermath of that? You've met some new people, you've taken care of a problem, you've solved this water thing, protected the zones. What scene do you want to call with it? PC, with an NPC, something you want to undertake?
You know, if we wanted a nice little parallel with the last episode, we could do a scene with, I gotta find the name of my fellow fellow engineer
Oh
who
yeah.
had written the name
Was
down.
it McCreary?
Yes.
McCreary.
Yeah. Um, I mean, because like the last episode, right, where I had blown things in Zots and really um offended my my date, as it were.
Hmm.
Like McCreary had kind of gotten me out of that situation, but was also a little angry with me. Um, so I mean, it could be a scene with, okay, so it could be with also with Ensign Asha and setting up the like our initial Dabo game on the station, and maybe it's
Dabo or poker? Asha,
Poker's
Gop, what would you like?
probably poker's probably easier, smaller start.
yeah.
Dabo, we need a bank, basically. So
So Gop, where do you imagine you've arranged that you all can have a good poker game?
um maybe it's a board that the runabout just
Runabout. Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean it's in the dock, it's not flying around or anything, but
And with
I
the
think
with the
that'd be
water issue, they probably got registered as temporarily, out of use.
yeah, so it would be yeah kind of suitably under the radar of sorts, that we maybe have a little you know poker action going with none of the high level
Right.
right people, but like ensign types
Yeah.
and others.
So Ensign Gop, Ensign Asha, we know that McCreary is there. He's a friend of yours. Ensign Asha, like what other kind of person do you want to have there for a
there's
fourth?
probably some like civilians on the station.
Okay. Uh,
Uh, let's look at the NPCs tab. Uh, hmm. Let's have Mr. Anestes.
oh,
He's got to trying to make back profit or whatever.
yeah, he's on probation right now from station security, and you can tell he is in the mood to lose some money to gain some favor. So he is there. Yeah, so we see you playing poker, getting that game set up. Tell me something about how you've done the decor, set things up inside the runabout, GOP.
I think GOP makes it, GOP remembers kind of like we might consider them like seedy little gambling establishments. When she was growing up, she kind of knew this, and so she tries to. It's kind of dark, shadows, kind of like dim lighting, but you kind of step into it. Outside it looks, like this kind of prim and proper runabout, but
Hmm.
you step in and yeah, it's like you're whisked away to some other kind of more dark and moody place.
Okay. Got our noir gambling hangout on board the runabout. Yeah, so I think we'll see that scene of you playing. Ensign Asha, what scene would you like to have here for the end?
Hmm. I don't know. Maybe like I guess maybe she's meeting with Petty Officer White just because she scheduled an appointment to meet with them, and basically it's like I've heard that I don't know how long I'm going to be stationed here, Officer White, but I heard that you're often looking for assistance with some of the bureaucratic aspects of the job, and I used to shadow our own yeoman back on the Kintsugi, and she taught me a lot of the ins and outs of regulations, the loopholes, as it were.
That would be great. That would be great. I have something just for you. And she'll
Oh,
pull out a pad, and it looks like it's been at the bottom of her stack for a while. So we're about 18 months behind on full psych evals of all senior staff.
okay.
You seem
18
like
months.
18 months.
Okay.
She'll say,
You're listed here as well.
I understand that. And there's a
Okay.
reason I'm at the bottom of the list. So let's see if you can get to everybody else first.
Hmm. Well played.
Yeah, so you just we need to get that done, and we haven't had a counselor or a
I
therapist or a
I've
psychologist.
heard.
Yeah, so welcome to Eschaton.
Hmm.
Uh,
Great.
I think we'll cut from there. Uh, Bontali, what would you like for your end of episode bit here?
Um, man, what chaos. I think I'm I'm the idea that popped into my head is Donna, if you're up for it, maybe you and I are at Zot's and we've asked Zot to prepare a dessert using this fruit.
Um,
Let's
I mean, or we could be in my quarters where I am preparing a
love it.
dessert with this fruit.
Love it.
Um,
Uh,
that
Lieutenant
is one
Keel,
of Keel's hobbies, right? If you
fantastic.
haven't gotten the hint yet.
Lieutenant Keel, uh, you asked me to your quarters. That's a little unusual. Everything okay?
Oh, I mean, we're colleagues, and
We have offices.
oh yeah, but this is a social engagement.
Oh,
The alien plantain that we have acquired. I've been doing some experimentation, and I think this will hit your Andorian savory taste buds just right.
I had no idea you were such an accomplished cook. Let's see what you got.
Well, I've centuries of experience.
I should have known.
Oh.
And what does this dessert look like? What is our space dessert? Again, Props has spent some time uh, doing something that looks magnificent so that it kind of showcases your skill.
Yeah, I think so. The kind of like leafy structures that we saw earlier have kind of been kept, and they're being stuffed with some kind of, I don't know, panna cotta kind of thing. And then the fruit has been, I don't know, there's been some sugar and it's been burnt and it's really caramelized. So it's a nice mixture of the sweet and savory in one dessert.
Bontali, what is your reaction to this when you taste it? Is this to your taste? Is this not to your taste? Are you being polite? Are you in rapture? What do you think?
I think my face says one thing, which is this is great, and my antenna are saying something else, which is I don't know how I'm going to get through the whole thing. So, um, yeah, I'm like, I think I admire your desire to experiment with new foods, and I really think you're onto something here, Lieutenant Kuhn.
And do you think this is like a this thing that your antenna are doing? This is like the classic Andorian. I really don't like this. Please make it stop. Is this something
I
you
don't
think I
know.
can see through?
Well, you run out of traits, so you can't add Andorian body language
No,
to
no, I can't.
it. But I think it might be subtle. So it might
Okay.
not be. My face is definitely conveying a level of enthusiasm. I think
Yeah.
I'm excited about the idea that you are that I work with people who are enthusiastic about experimentation, but I'm really struggling to think about how am I going to get through the rest of this.
Well, I mean, I think what I'll say is, well, I'm really sorry that this is basically it. Like we're never basically going to get one of these again. But um, but maybe I can reach out and see what we can do. Although we have to be careful, obviously.
Yeah, look, I like a
Uh,
good contraband fruit as much as the next person, but let's
mm,
be careful about how we ship these things.
exactly, exactly. But I'll give you plenty of warning if I think I have a lead.
Do you sense that the liquid issue that we've been experiencing across the station is now solved?
Um,
Please give
I
me
think
something I can
so.
cross off my list.
I think so. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, not to say that problems. I mean, we're here, right? Problems will reoccur, but you can cross it off your list for now.
Let's maybe step up inspections of individual transporters too, just to let them know we're keeping an eye on
You think that's a job to give to interim ensigns?
them. I I think interim ensigns are perfect for that job.
Okay. Let us see how our psych evals go because, I'm fine. Are you fine?
I've never been more fun.
I mean, that I don't believe.
And that feels like a good, we kind of pull back a little bit from the dining table, and I think we'll kind of fade out from there. And I think that's the end of our episode, if that's cool with everybody. I would like to do stars and wishes. Um, Jolene, we brought you in here. I want to thank you for jumping in both feet again and bringing a new character in kind of a weird space here, but adding that, and we'll have you back some more. So stars, wishes?
Oh, it was good jobs all around. Just like, all right, how do I get involved in the others? And, we figured it out. Wishes, I'm looking forward to coming back. Maybe her gambling addiction comes up in good ways or bad ways. I see Bontali is also a gambler. We gotta gamble together. I need to hustle you. Also, I definitely want to have somebody bring up the whole profits thing to her so she can
Okay.
just go off.
Absolutely.
And I
Uh,
guess more with the Moriarty next time I come around.
okay.
So
Yeah. Robbie.
Yeah, this was a great episode. I did like Gop appreciates having another ensign on board, and also kind of appreciating that Asha's into kind of games of chance and risk, where Gop, who's been feeling a little bit unsettled on the station. I think that she sees, right, Asha's appearance as a something that might help this Ferengi feel a little bit more at ease. Certainly, like the end of the episode in that runabout, right, with the poker game, I think, you know, had her feeling had her feeling better. I yeah, I like the mystery of the episode, and the kind of collaboration kind of going on to try to kind of get to the heart of what was going on. I guess a wish that I would have is I think, Gop, now hopefully working out, you know, problems with the runabout, getting those solved, but getting back to the Tantalus object, it seems like, the 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 hold on kind of going out to the Tantalus object will be expiring. So I think, yeah, kind of some more action with that bizarre mystery that's floating out there would be fun.
Okay. Dan.
Let's see. Yeah, Jolene, thanks for jumping in. That was great. It was nice to see you here. Um, I am excited to see what happens with Asha. She has definitely been dropped into the deep end in this chaos. I was glad to get to the bottom of some of this, the liquid stuff. Um, and yeah, I thought that was great. Wishes. I'm looking forward to a scene with Skilla for next time to talk to the robot person,
Absolutely.
Balak. And then any other wishes? I think there is some intelligence work to be done with these Lyrans, and I kind of wanted to uh, maybe talk to my handler about that, or uh, have kind of created, use one of my talents to have created a trait where I
Yeah,
installed some sort of spy mechanism on the Lyrans.
I think that works perfectly. Yeah. Okay. And Keel.
Yeah, a great little mystery, which I think got pretty much solved by herself, with a little bit of help, um, at the end. But that was good. Very, very Star Trekky. Um, and yeah, I think the other thing I love to see was a lot of interplay between the characters. I think we got a lot of nice scenes, even if they were like in the middle of doing the investigation or kind of purely off books. So those were all great. Um, and then wishes maybe for next week. Yeah, I'd love to get back over to the Tantalos object, muck around with over there. And maybe I know we've seen kind of newer kind of mentioned in passing a couple of times, so it'd be kind of interesting to see whether Keel knows her or what their deal is, given that she is half Trill.
Excellent. That sounds good. Awesome. Thank you all so much. I enjoyed that. It was a nice two-parter, and I will see everybody next week. Jolene, we'll see you back in a few weeks. I think I gave you a heads up on what sessions you're going to be in for.
Yeah, I'm officially in the 10th and 17th, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the two sessions I'll be missing.
Mhm.
So yeah.
And then
You should all bow out more so I can
yeah.
learn more.
And Dan, you're out the August 10th and
and
20th.
the 23rd.
Okay, yeah. So there'll be a series of 3
3-week
that you'll
run.
be. Yeah.
All
Awesome.
right, I'm a recurring.
Yes,
She's on her way to main cast.
absolutely.
So,
Thank you all so much. I'll see you next week. Bye.